Thank you everybody for coming here today. We're so pleased to see that it's been such a wonderful turnout. You all know why we're here, I think. 2016 was the 40th anniversary of the Grunwick strike. Even though it's now 2017, the strike went on for 2 years, so I guess the commemorations can go on for 2 years as well. So it's 2 years since a few of us first sat in a pub down the road, talking one evening about how it would be really good if we had more pieces of public art that commemorated local radical histories. At the same time, we were also aware that the 40th anniversary of the strike was coming up. So those two ideas came together, and this and the other mural up the road is the result of that. We're standing here on this pavement right outside where the factory was, which if you don't know was that building over there now, which is now flats. Looking up Chapter Road that way, you'll see the street that 40 years ago was lined with police who are helping the bosses come down that road to help the strike breakers enter the factory. If we look down the road that way, we see, and when we walk up the hill to the second mural, we'll be seeing where close to 20,000 people gathered on one of the days of action to create a mass picket, and for the first time they forced police horses into retreat. So these really are important symbolic sites of working class history, of feminist history, and of the history of Black and Asian people in this country. These murals, this one here and the one on the bridge at Dudenhill Lane that we'll be walking up to afterwards, are really the culmination of the 40th anniversary project. We've tried throughout this last year to bring the events of 1976 to 78 to a new audience, a new generation, and whether that was the thousands of people who attended the exhibition at Willesden Library that was on earlier this year, or the teenagers who spoke to us last night when we were installing and covering up the mural, and really at the time had no idea what the significance of this site was, what the Grunwick strike meant, and were so interested and engaged in hearing about this piece of history that they live right on top of. So Grunwick was a record-breaking strike in lots of ways. These artworks are firsts as well. This is the first piece of public art in this country that celebrates a collective movement that was led by Asian women. We believe that it's the first London mural on a political theme that has been created with community involvement. Somebody on Twitter last night asked if this was the first time that the National Lottery had funded the commemoration of a strike. I don't know the answer to that. I don't know if it's true. But if it is, let's just call it a bonus ball. So just finally, I want to say thank you to the Heritage Lottery Foundation, who helped us fund this entire project, the GMB Union, Near Neighbours, but also dozens of union branches, trades councils, and also individuals who donated to make this entire thing possible. Most of all, thank you to our hugely talented artist, Ferrie, who took a wonderfully collaborative approach to the mural, and it was her vision of how a piece of community artwork should be created that really meant that the Grunwick 40 committee and Anna as an artist were really in tune and have produced something that I hope you're all really going to appreciate. I know you want to hear a bit more about the artwork from Anna, and you're going to hear from the strikers in a minute. I'm going to pass the mic to Anna, and then we're going to let you see what's under the covers. Once you've had a look, don't wander off, because there's more to come, and the drummers are going to lead us up the road to the second site, the second mural site on Dudenhill Lane Bridge, which is absolutely huge. So without saying anything more, I'm going to hand over to the artist Anna Ferrie. Thank you, Anna.
Thanks, Sujata, and thank you everyone for coming. And we luckily got a brilliant day for it. Yesterday we were panicking a little bit because it was raining and we couldn't get what we wanted up. So I was really pleased, overjoyed actually, when I got this commission. I've lived in the area for 20 years. I remember Grunwick really well, and it was always incredibly inspiring and a significant bit of history for me. So I actually also felt a great responsibility that I had to produce a piece that really could measure up to the significance and the weight of the dispute and the significant part in history. I'm just going to really briefly talk about how we made the mural, because lots of people have said, well, how are you doing it? Have you painted it? Have you, how is it being produced? As Sujata said, the important sort of crucial, one of the important crucial features of the artwork was that it was a community piece of art. And I've always felt that there are amazing resources, creative resources within the community that often aren't accessed for various reasons. And this was a wonderful opportunity to show what we could all do together and how much creativity there is out there. I was also really inspired by the photographs that were taken during the Grunwick dispute. There were dozens, scores, hundreds of black and white photos that were taken by photojournalists, none of the mobile phone sort of lark. They were really beautiful, very dynamic, really gave a sense of atmosphere. And the more that I discovered in archives and online, the more I saw that that's where we had to source the imagery for the murals. So very quickly, what we did is we organised a series of workshops in the community, offered them to members of the community, 5 workshops in total. They were held in the local library centre and in the Dudenhill Centre just around the corner. And I obviously wanted to make sure that they were accessible as possible to everyone, whether they had any artistic experience, and the majority of people who came didn't. So what we did is we took the photographs, we printed out dozens of photographs, and participants chose which photograph they wanted to use, and they made a stencil out of it. And we screen printed those stencils. Some of you... So I'd like to thank particularly Sujata and Kira, without whom the project wouldn't have happened, and also...
Viva Sujata!
I'd also like to thank all the participants and artists that were part of the workshop, and in particular Lula Cooling and Sarah Pimenta, who were the workshop participant artists and who worked with me. So we were a big team. Okay, so let's go to the strikers.
We have all the strikers to the front, please. All the strikers. I know you're here. I know you're a little bit shy, but I spoke to you earlier, so I know you're here. Don't hide. Come on. It's your day today. Who wants to speak? We've got lots of you here today. Who wants to speak?
Hi, my name is Mahmood Ahmed, and I was the secretary of the strike committee during the strike. I just don't know what to say. It's been such a long time. I don't recognize hardly anybody. So many of you weren't even born then, and to know that people care so much about this strike and what happened here, and basically to remember that we fought for our rights to organize a trade union and to improve our living conditions and wages and whatever comes with it, and that was just the basics of what we wanted, and we fought for those. And to now know that it's become an historic thing is such a big thing for us, and we're so proud that people still remember, and to know that they're organizing things like this memorial, and there are plays, there are books about Grunwicks, and there's just history. It was really such an important strike that it changed the British trade union movement, and also the some of the political situation at the time. I think some of them even go as far as say that the Labour Party lost the election to Margaret Thatcher because of the Grunwick strike. And so really, I'm just thank you for all coming, and I'm so proud to see everybody here and to know that you all remember what's going on. We'll carry on remembering us. Thank you.
Hi, good morning everybody, good afternoon. And one good thing, after 40 years, I met my colleague in crime, where we got arrested at the same time. So it was my pleasure to be here, and that is great. And secondly, while we were standing and when the speeches were going on, a police car pulled up as well. So after 40 years, they still don't want to let it go.
It's coming backwards down the road as well.
As what Mahmood has just said, it was a great experience. And after 40 years, what lessons we have pulled out of this Grunwick story? And I can tell you something. I haven't been to the university, I haven't been to college because I didn't have the chance or the privilege. But my education was done on the picket line. And what I learned during that time, I'm using that after Grunwick in my personal life and in my family life. And that's the greatest achievement as far as I'm concerned. And secondly, amount of support we had during those 2 years of strikes, unbelievable. People we didn't know, we didn't expect, and to have that much support every day on the picket line, and on the particular day, 20,000 people on the picket line, that is amazing. So thank you everyone for your support.
Anybody else want to say anything?
Laxshmiben, we must hear from Laxshmiben.
Hello everybody, and good afternoon to everybody. My English is not that good, but I can speak little bit. Thank you coming here and supporting Grunwick striker, and still I am remember everything here on the road, what we have done in my life.
Sorry.